I think we are actually getting our next team. I see DRF and Genie coming up here, and I think that's going to be, that's going to be Surskit, Radish, Gem, and Omni, bro. This is a good set right here. So, again, we got Genie, DRF, Nox, and NSS 6 on the side of Business Casualties. They're a pickup, I believe. And again, Surskit, Radish, Bada, Gem, and Omni, man. These are some stacked teams. I think this is probably the other side of the bracket on the, I guess it'd be winners round 2. If I had to guess, man. But this should be a hot set alert, bro. Tell your friends, tell your parents. Bring it right on back to IPL Splatoon at Twitch, bro. This should be pretty hot. What else do you know about the team?
So both teams I'm looking at right here, both pretty well in terms of mid-level. I know for a fact DRF, Nox, and Genie have had their fair share of mid-level teams. BoyAhoy actually showed up last year as the same little pickup team. I'm not sure they had the same roster. I know Skip was here. Radish was here. Bada was here as Jay, but Bada is going to be Bada for now. Gem and Omni, all of them capable of playing at the mid-level. So both of these teams are looking for a pretty exciting matchup here as we actually start to see a little audience pull towards the screen. So nice job there. Also, I should mention NSS 6, that number 8622, starting to look more like a Star Trek like ship name. Which, I mean, I kind of had to look at that for the first time. I had to say, okay, is that the Enterprise?
Yeah, man. I know Genie, if any of you guys watch the amazing Ink TV Resurgence League, Genie is one of the people behind that. They are involved a lot with the production side of the commentating. DRF, another commentator. I think they were already commentating today earlier, if I believe.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, and, of course, we got Nox. So, really, again, these are seasoned people, man. Seasoned people from Splatoon on that one. Splatoon 2. And, of course, you have Surskit from Luau eventually. Oh, and we've just received word from higher up above that Brush is actually subbing in for Nox. We will see Brush. Again, they actually have a shirt named Brush on the back there of the purple headset. There's going to be in for Nox. So, again, cool stuff. Nice to see a little flexibility. It's a lot easier to find subs when you're already in the building.
Yeah.
Shout out to any online stuff for that.
No +1 pings. Love it.
Yeah, man. And then, you know, Gem, gosh, I wish I knew. Remember, yeah, Surskit saying hi to us. And Omni used to be on Essence. No, kind of like Valorant. A lot of weird stuff going on with that team. But, again, should be a hot set alert.
Oh, yeah.
Again, they're just trying to get in the lobby. I think I see about 6 out of 8 of those people ready to go.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know, if you're new to LANs, you have to enter LAN mode for the show. I don't know why it makes you do that.
The little combination of buttons. So it's 4 at the same time. Hold it for a few seconds. And then you're ready for LAN mode.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a little frustrating when that doesn't work. And the other cool thing, one of the hardest things about LAN, in my opinion, is not having a consistent sound setup on a set-to-set level. Because, luckily, I mean, these sets are a lot better than the ones I used last year. Because I remember last year, I would get, Tony's sound or something, someone else's sound on my headset, you can hear yourself. It was a little scuff. But now, man, with the, I think the Astro setups they got going on there, very, very cool, a lot more consistent. But you still do run into issues sometimes. And it's just hard. It's hard to adapt. It's like when you're, not throw back to basketball, but it's like when they're traveling between different cities. You know, it's not your home court. You're not in your own bed every night. Yeah. That's kind of what it's like with the LANs. You don't have your home setup. You can't just adjust on the fly. You're not in your comfy chair. You know, you're not in your room. There's no cat or anything, man. It's just you and the screen in front of you that is provided. So, again, it really is who comes down to who's more adaptable in that situation, I feel.
Oh, yes. More of that adaptation and administration. Yeah. What he said. I'm me no words. I do few word because me no word good.
Dude, me no word good. That's why you're on commentary, bro, right now.
Hey, commentary is saying a lot of words and hoping you're right.
I hate to say it, but Nino is a little correct on that one.
See, I'm already now. That's 1 for 1 on little tidbits there. Future commentators, if you're watching this, say a lot of words. Hope you're right.
Hey, as someone that what people would consider, I'm going to put in air quotes, funny. The hardest thing to do is to get started, bro. To say those unfunny jokes is just be out there and just do your best. If someone's like, that's not how the game works at all. Why did you say that, stupid idiot? But I always encourage people, the production side of people always need more help. I can guarantee you we're always looking for stream runners. Again, those people that, are either running the stream or having the camera person be in there. Those are the hardest jobs I feel like to find positions for. I know MIT also kind of struggles with that. But I feel like it's so rewarding. And once you get down there, you don't have to do what we do. If you want to be behind the scenes and just be not on camera, we always need people more like that. And even if you want to be on camera, you want to be a commentator, I always say just get on and go do it. We always need more help for this stuff. The community is growing. you know, we need more of that fresh blood to do stuff like this.
For sure.
And I feel like now is a great time with the game still being fresh. So, again, we always need new people. I would encourage anyone out there to try to put their hat in the ring and just do the best they can. Try to get involved, man. Just do it weekly. They'll probably pair you up with someone that knows what they're doing. And just talk about it, man. That's all you got to do. Take that first step. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate.
I will tell you, my first commentary set was done with a pair of Apple EarPods. And my phone. So I had to watch the entire stream on this. So, I mean, we all start somewhere.
We all do. Started from the bottom, and now we're here, baby. That's right. At LTC 2023.
Yes, shout out to Drake.
Dude, I can't stand Drake. No cap. No, I'm not going to get into the politics of rap semantics, but, bro, I can't.
Politics of rap.
I can't. I cannot with Drake. All right, one thing I can do is get ready for the lobby. I see the people on stage now. They are ready. They are not ready. They are getting decided on their teams. We should be good to go here. Thank you again for sticking by and not going anywhere. I know there's a lot of downtimes on the stream, but that's why we kick it with me and Nito, bro.
Oh, yeah. Just a font of things to talk about, and if we don't have things to talk about, we find things to talk about. Yeah,
absolutely. And, again, looking at the maps here, it's really interesting. It's always fun to see how it happens in the different iterations. But, yeah, so this for round 2, we're going to start on Rainmaker on Scorched Gorge. Kind of a volatile map mode, I got to tell you, man, because once you get past that first checkpoint, I feel like all bets are off. You know, it's really whoever can get set up the quickest after that.
Oh, absolutely. And, again, with Rainmaker, it's such a volatile mode, too, because even with 2 points remaining, we saw in the earlier matchup, that lead doesn't mean anything. If you head into, like, later into the game, that lead might not mean anything if you just let it slide by, as Vermilion Brigade almost did. But with both teams, they just have a bit more experience on their back. So we're going to look at see what they bring out to the table here. Funny thing is actually looking at the info sheet that production has provided us. One notable achievement that Omni has is, sorry, I don't know.
Yes, very notable.
Good
Sorry,
job,
I
Omni.
don't know. By the way, for any of those ever do this, especially people that are watching the VOD back, please fill out your commentary sheets. It really helps us out. I'm just putting that out there. Hey, I heard the ding ding. We're ready to go, baby. Here we go. Set number 2, Wade D Pools here at LTC 2023.
Rainmaker on Scorched Gorge. That's going to be BoyAhoy in the blue and Business Casualties in the orange. And we're going to see both of these start to head off. Double Neo Splash comp coming from the side of Business Casualties. DRF pulling out the signature Tri-Slosher, and BoyAhoy going with a almost traditional comp until you see that Blaster. As Blaster, Surskit is known for playing, especially in a lot of these especially in a lot of competitive Splatoon, as they try to pick off DRF to actually get 2 picks off. Now, trying to start making their push, making their way towards the checkpoint. There's going to be a lot of trouble now, as Radish is going to have to try to fight off the oncoming defense from Business Casualties.
Yeah, you saw him in a minute. Surskit's Blaster has hands. Not enough hands, unfortunately, to actually get through that checkpoint. It's going to be on basically a push to nothing from the side of BoyAhoy. As you see Business Casualties, you see Pixie 6 up here with the strikes coming out. And this should be checkpoint unless something dramatic happens, which it doesn't. Thank you for not blessing me with Commentators Curse. But again, man, yeah, it's really early. You see people jumping in on the side of Business Casualties, as it is just Surskit up on the snipe right now. He's going to see if he can get as many picks as possible. But again, he's just one blaster. What can one blaster do in the face of Genie on the Rainmaker? And that is going to be a push 35 in the first 2 minutes.
That's actually an excellent position there to be with Surskit on the sniper area, trying to make sure they keep the distance between themselves and the rest of the players, and especially with the Blaster, it gives you that extra range to work with as they actually get 2 players down now on Business Casualties. Business Casualties having to back up just a bit more. Pixie 6, though, trying to keep some paint on the board for Business Casualties, but BoyAhoy quickly making their comeback. They have 2 specials ready. They actually have the Zipcaster, which might see an appearance very soon because the ballpoint's starting to set themselves up. And I say that, the ballpoint goes down, going for the Tri-Strike, and the Tri-Strike, I believe, went down as well. Omni still trying to make a disruption here as Surskit's able to clear the 1 Neo Splash, actually clears out the Tri-Slosher as well. BoyAhoy starting to make a wave of their own as they actually clear the first checkpoint.
Yeah, you know, one thing I hate about this map is how snowballed it is. There's such a big choke point coming out of spawn, especially for Rainmaker. You'll see these teams just trying to throw themselves at the Rainmaker when it's on their side of the map. Unfortunately for BoyAhoy, they are not going to be able to do that like Business Casualty did. Because, man, when you're up that early in the match, you have nothing to lose from just constantly keeping a couple people alive and throwing a couple people to try to push the Rainmaker. And they did. They got it all the way from 35 to 23. So good stuff. But, again, Surskit has not moved. He is still in the same spot. They are just blowing people up here, no pun intended, with the blaster. And again, just like that, Gem is able to pick up the Rainmaker and put it back on the side of the map. It's going to go down to the instant pop because he's on the bubble.
Oh, the bubble is a very dangerous place to be in because anyone can sneak by and anyone could pull off a pick like that. DRF, though, left on their own to make a pick there. That's a delayed wipe for BoyAhoy. They might even get the lead here. They are only 7 points away from the tie. They actually get the lead as well, 11 points remaining, but they do go 3 down. That's going to be enough for now as they go up to 2 more minutes remaining. But like you said, this is a very snowbally map here as Surskit actually shows it right now. Getting a 1 pick off, might be able to get the other one on DRF. Takes a Tri-Slash right with him, and that's a wipe for the side of BoyAhoy.
Yeah, very unfortunate that the Rainmaker's not there, but it doesn't really matter when you have 3 people on their plat. Good stuff to BoyAhoy, keeping the composure. Actually going to get a pretty dominant push down to 11. They're going to have to get it past the middle point of the ramp, which is kind of hard when you're the defending team, especially with someone, again, like, BoyAhoy just kind of holding that Rainmaker down there. There is a lot of paint control on the side of Business Casualties, and they're tactical it up, but it doesn't matter. They're going to wisely take it down to that low left side of the map. It is such a pain. That is a very good strat with Rainmaker, get the lead, try to bleed as much time out the clock. I remember the Barry talking about the Rainmaker is one of the best weapons in the game because it has such an unlimited ink tank. They don't need to reload, so you can just sit there for all of a minute and just shoot at people. And then if you, by some stroke of God, you get a good setup going, you can start to push like you see Gem moving up right now. But right now, man, Business Casualties kind of struggling to be on the back foot here and just dislodge the Rainmaker from Gem's hands. Yeah,
and we actually mentioned this sort of this play style from Vermilion Brigade against Lost Inklings. Vermilion Brigade now, what they tried to do was just stall by having themselves play very defensively. BoyAhoy, though, what they're doing is taking the Rainmaker away from Business Casualties, making sure they don't have the time to grab the Rainmaker. They actually have to wait a little bit longer for that Rainmaker to reset. So what they're trying to do there is just stall as much as they can, make sure that Business Casualties doesn't have an opportunity, literally and metaphorically, to push with the Rainmaker. And as we see right now, Surskit trying to make a wave of their own. They do get the wipeout as well. Up to 11 points remaining. They might be able to increase on that lead just a bit more. 22 seconds left on the clock. They might actually have to stall just a bit more as Business Casualties starting to make their way back in, but they could afford to push it just a little bit more, make it a bit more difficult for Business Casualties to go all the way back to their own spot. But no, they're going to elect to stall it just a bit more there. A splash on the left side of your screen there, making it very difficult for Gem to just stand by. And it's going to be going to overtime as Business Casualties picks up the Rainmaker.
Yeah, again, good stuff too. Surskit just doing what they do best right there and just honestly going ham, trying to get as many picks as possible. Omni going to pop this Zipcaster. Not going to finally mark on Pixie 6. But here comes Surskit from the bottom left. He's spotted out by DRF. DRF putting the hands on him. That's going to be into Surskit. But again, look how much time they have and look how far they have to go. That is a great defend from the side of Business Casualties to not be out of the game right now. But again, they got to start moving if they want it. And unfortunate for them, Surskit is back in the game.
Oh, wow, okay.
And it's going to be just DR fighting by them lone self. Now it is just Miss Pixie 6, and that's going to be game to BoyAhoy. Man, just got the hands on that map, bro.
I saw that 2v2 going on there. It's the Junior and the Blaster, which if you know, Junior is not exactly the best weapon to play if you're trying to take those 1v1s. But with Surskit somehow able to keep themselves alive in that one interaction, great job there from Surskit, keeping that 2v1 alive and actually keeping the game alive for BoyAhoy.
I'm shaking my head just because I've been on the other side of that blaster, bro. Surskit do got hands. And the thing that's cool about Surskit is they play like a bucket player. They just sit in that ink like you saw on their plat, and you think, man, they must be gone. And then they show up and just beam you and you're dead. And that's what happens, man. Like we kind of talked about. You get that big lead, and all you got to do is just stagger them for the next however long. And then actually you get a push off. And they had such an aggressive comp between that and the Stamper, man. Like, it was just, they did a good job. Especially trying to push again. Pretty meta, double kneel splash comp coming out from the side of Business, Business Casualties.
There we go.
Probably a lot of B words, ironically.
That's his favorite, too. Come on. And speaking of which, Blaster, you mentioned how it plays like a bucket. Most weapons, you say the Splatoon Stampers, you see the Blasters, they actually can play a lot like a bucket does in that they're able to watch those ledges very closely. So any map like Scorched Gorge and, Scorched Gorge, maybe even the map that's coming up, Brine Water Springs, you can do a lot of damage just from the ledges alone. All you have to do is sit there and let them come to you.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I forgot that I'm talking to. We're both bucket players. Funny enough, Nito is a tri-slosh man. I play a lot of machine. I'm sure Nito plays tri-slosh nowadays anyway. But yeah, it hit me. Yeah, it is a lot of just sharking my ledges, punishing people. I can't really do much of that as machine as tri-slosher can. But I know, bro, Nito's tri-slosher got mad hands. Speaking of mad hands, they're gonna need some mad hands for Clam Blitz on Brine Water, bro. Man, that is a tough match. I feel like we're looking for probably getting more of a back and forth kind of thing on there. Just feeling like, you know, it's a really good map to kind of stall out of mid. And also, get some dominant pushes by how far it is to come in. I feel like when you're trying to push back in from Brine Water Clams, you know, you have to go really far right, be exposed as a drop on there, or go really far left, and again, be exposed as no backing up. So it's kind of hard to get people off the ramp. I'm looking forward to see how both teams deal with that.
And maybe people will actually consider Brine Water to be a flatter map, but you'll notice that there's actually quite a bit of ledges here. So I fully expect Skit to pull out the blaster yet again. There's the blaster, and actually there's the Splatoon as well. And I believe they might go for the same on the side of Business Casualties, but they actually go with the C Junior. What they're trying to do with the C Junior there is maybe slow down BoyAhoy's offense, noticing how fast they were able to deploy themselves, especially in that Rainmaker game. So with that C Junior, hopefully they'll be able to slow them down with the torpedoes, keeping them at bay. And it might be working out well for them so far. They're actually getting one player down, might be able to get two players down, as that Stamper is very close to being down. That Stamper is actually close to being down, and they're down as well, as long as someone else. That's two players down on the side of BoyAhoy. Business Casualties getting quickly back into the game.
Yeah, man, that was a fat kill coming out from Genie there. Genie recognized they got the advantage. I can just charge forever, bro. Getting a good pick, popping nature, getting a triple there, actually. And now look at the score. It's already down to 32 in the first minute, looking like a complete reversal from game one. If you would have shown me that, I would have never even believed this would be the score here. And DRF coming in with the fat double there, going to keep the advantage on the side of Business Casualties on the other team's plat.
DRF pop off, and that actually, you'll notice that they actually pulled out the V-Try for this map, and they're using that to keep the jet, and it's the same purpose that I believe they're pulling out these weapons for, making sure they keep BoyAhoy at bay with that jet. But as I say that, they're actually going to keep Business Casualties at bay, taking out the ball point, and it's going to go a fairly not equal fight as they actually go 3 down now. 4 down, that's a delayed wipe. BoyAhoy going to make themselves at home fairly quickly now, getting themselves towards the basket. Skit opting to pop that bubble right in front of the basket, actually right to the side.
That was not a clam?
Oh, that was not a clam, as we saw fairly quickly. And that might not be a push. They want to keep going, so they have one player back up fairly quickly.
You know what? I've been there. You know, you think you make the power clam, and it's not there. Extremely unfortunate. Completely left them kind of with their pants around their ankles there, and I feel like the red team was able to capitalize on that super well, just killing them all. And again, I mean, granted, now the push didn't happen, but the side of BoyAhoy still has a ton of clamps to their name. But man, that is not what you want to see on the mainstream at LTC, bro.
Oh my goodness! And as I say that, they're actually going to get one clam in. They might get a few more clams in. Brushed in Pixie 6, trying to keep at least some pain advantage, but BoyAhoy's going to quickly eat that pain up. Pixie 6 right next to Genie, making sure they can at least keep the distance between Genie and the rest of the players, so Genie does the work that Genie does best, keeping that ball point at the ready. But it looks like that push is going to be over for the side of BoyAhoy as they have to back up fairly quickly here. The jet starts to come out, playing a little bit on the defensive side here. That's the one cool thing about the Ink Jet, is that you're able to use it for both offensive and defensive purposes just because of how high it is. I'm talking like OBT now, so you know what? I'm doing your job for you.
Oh, my God. I mean, yeah, you are right. And it's funny, this comp is so much of double inkjet versus double bubble. I feel like you have a very double dominant defense special. Brush going to go down to the palm just like I do every day, man. I swear. And that is going to leave just DRF with 7 claims to the name. Going to be sharking on here. I would bet money that, yeah, DRF knows. They know where they're at, man. Crazy that we get to see that new mechanic for this game. I know it's not very new, but, you know, don't lose your clams anymore when you jump back to spawn. I feel like it's a much more viable thing for keeping special and for keeping clams, you know. And now, look, man, you know, pretty even clan count. There's going to be a fat pick coming out from Genie onto Gem there with the Inkjet. Genie really showcasing why Inkjet is meta again, man. Look at this. Where they're able to play so aggressively. They have the fizzy. They have this long range mode. I'm going to call it the Slayer mode right there. So, and able to find the pick on Search Kit. Genie kind of being a thorn in this other team's side. As you see, BoyAhoy not really doing a whole lot to get out of their side of the map.
Yeah, and you see the comp that BoyAhoy is running. They're actually doing a lot more on the defensive side than they can on the offensive side because they got into double bubble comp. They're trying to keep themselves away from Business Casualties. They're trying to keep Business Casualties away from them. However, it's not working out too well for them because Business Casualties has a lot of opportunities to pick from afar, as we saw with that double inkjet comp, and what Genie's trying to do here with the ballpoint, especially in the extended range there, as DRF looks for an extra pick to get themselves back into the running for some more points, as they have a 34-point penalty to look forward to. And they actually get one player gone down by the brush. 30 seconds remaining. BoyAhoy still able to find a few more picks and actually get picked off on one picked off from their own. 30 seconds remaining. They still need to find an answer. They need to find it fairly quickly.
That was so BM, bro. Just going inside the bubble and breaking the bubble. Again, I feel like this is exactly what Business Casualties wanted. They wanted an early lead. And again, man, I feel like with the double inkjet, they're so good at just staggering, bro. You can just pop it, damage people, chip people, and then the rest of your crew is able to clean them up there. And with 7 seconds remaining, I don't even know if the blue team has a clam. I don't really see one on the mini-map. So I think that we're not even going to see overtime. That is a W for the Inkjet Nation there. I got to tell you, look at Genie, man. He's like, that's right, we picked up Inkjet, and we won. So, again, very good stuff. That is a cool comp to see. Again, double special comps, minus double crab, are pretty cool to see. I feel like, you see double inkjet versus double bubble. And I kind of give it up to double inkjet. I feel like, double bubble would have been great if they had a lot of control and were able to pop that under the basket. But even then, I feel like you said with Genie, man, Genie went right under that bubble and beamed 2 people. And I feel like that's kind of the weakness of bubble is that sometimes it doesn't protect you. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I mean, despite how the bubble looks, anyone can walk in. So it's like leaving your door open at night. Like I leave my door open at night, my cat just walks in, decides to make it home, and decides to make it sit next to my legs. And that's what you're feeling here with the bubbles, is that anyone can walk in, just sit themselves right next to you and say, hey, what's up? Gets a pick fairly quickly.
Yeah, just like that, just like my cat, dude. They just, they get a pick on my legs like, ah. That's right. We're talking about cats here on the Splatoon channel for LTC, baby. But, hey, speaking of the next thing that we're doing, Splat Zones on Bing Blot Barp Academy, bro. I was talking to Wug, and I was like, why is Big Blot back in the map pool already? Well, whatever, man. Hey, these are good maps. I don't mind it. There's not a lot of good maps in the game sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So, but Splat Zones Inkblot, I feel like it's going to be interesting because I feel like honestly, both sides of the teams don't really have a whole lot of paint. I mean, they've got a lot of blaster and buckets and stuff and swords. But so it's curious to see if anyone's going to go, not maybe 1 or 2 more shooters on their team. I also don't know if they need it. I mean, I feel like this is a strong map for blaster and for bucket on the side of, DRF and Surskit respectively. So I don't know. I feel like, honestly, BoyAhoy, their fast play style, I've kind of heard of them a little bit. And I feel like it's challenging time with clans because, you got to pass clams. You got to be really thorough. And, it's all about teamwork. But I feel like with Business Casualties, man, they were just able to kill them a little better. And so I'm curious to see which play style ends up winning on this game in particular.
And you mentioned the fact that maybe Business Casualties didn't have enough paint. I saw them run earlier. The Rainmaker Scorch Gorge, they ran the double splash comp. I believe that was also with the ballpoint. That's something I expect them to show up with here. Maybe keep that C Junior with them as we see the comps come out from both sides. I believe BoyAhoy is keeping with mostly the same what they've been running with. And actually, Business Casualties coming out with exactly what I expected there. Coming out with the C Juniors, a splash, the V-Try, and the ballpoint coming out. And again, keeping that double jet in mind, making sure they're able to keep. I think they actually take a little bit more advantage here with the ledges that Inkblot has.
Yeah, and again, that is going to be the early fight going to Business Casualty, which is not what you want to see. Genie posted up on this top mid with no backliner in sight on BoyAhoy. You see Surskit doing their best to try to get a pick here. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do it without any paint support or another person by there. And you see Surskit opting to back out there. You see DRF in with the huge pick, going to pop the bubble. Opting again to go for double bubble. I don't know if that's the play here, especially on Inkblot zones. You don't necessarily get a whole lot of forward pressure, which I feel like the Inkjet absolutely does for the other side of Business Casualty. So again, I'm really curious as again, we're approaching less than 50 already, and we have yet to even kind of touch the zone on the side of BoyAhoy. As I say that, Surskit going to get a pick there, but they do need to cap. I hope this fight with DRF goes good.
Oh, the zone has been touched, and it might not be enough regardless because it's all up to Brush to keep that 2v1 at bay. Skid and Omni now have to look for a way in, but they are getting help from the right side of our map now, as they do have a few more players from the right side getting a bit more coverage there as they get control of the zone, giving a penalty to Business Casualties. BoyAhoy, what they need to do now is make sure they can continue to keep Business Casualties not only at bay, make sure to disrupt that sort of offensive power there, as they're doing so far. Omni is going to do just that, making sure they can get the Zipcaster into enemy territory. Might try to take care of Genie there, but isn't quite able to do so, as they're actually going to try to keep a bit more, just to keep them at bay there. But Business Casualties ultimately taking control of the zone.
Yeah, I feel like, man, BoyAhoy is just doing kind of a poor job of just balancing the objective. I feel like they're doing great for kills, but you saw, I feel like no one was painting the zone the entire time the camera was on Omni. And, you know, that could be just, again, this is a pickup, and maybe they're used to having more supportive players. That kind of goes to show you cannot have 4 players on a team sometimes. It doesn't work out. I know Grisco Gambit likes to run stuff like that, but it just doesn't work out. And, again, man, look at Surskit all by their lonesome here, as they have 3 people looking at them. Maybe that's what they want. They get one of them here. Can they get Miss Pixie 6? That is going to be 2 down, and they cap the zone, making OBT eat his stupid words for even questioning their brilliance here. Surskit on a rampage on their plat right now, man.
And that's one thing I was mentioning earlier with the ledges. When you play Charger, Blaster, when you're able to play just like that, you can keep your distance, but at the same time, make some picks from a critical point. DRF now trying to look for their way back in, actually try to pop that bucket first. But the Tri-Star's starting to come out. Once they can take cover of that platform there at the bottom, they can actually get themselves in and cause a bit more of a disruption for Business Casualties, making it harder for them to come back in. As we see right now, just getting those picks before they're able to come back in. 26 remaining. They might be able to get the lead here. Very close to doing so, and they do. The lead is theirs for now. As we hit the 15 remaining, they're going to start to look for a comeback here as Business Casualties trying to get the picks they need. They're not going to get enough. It's all up to the Siege Unit to make something happen as this game goes towards BoyAhoy.
Yeah, you see them wisely popping off there. That was a tremendous comeback, bro, from making me criticize them to winning the match in my face. Hey, I want to highlight one really key point of that match. You actually saw Omni was on the plat. They could have gone forward, but you saw one of the biggest differences I see between low level and especially mid and high level in zones is knowing when you need to pull back. Actually, you saw they were getting really close to lead, again, like within 26 or so. And again, 26 within like knocking out the game, right? And you saw them, Omni wisely backed up and again, like you said, made them come to you. I feel like that is a huge divide in terms of low level to mid and high level, is that like, man, they know when to back up. You don't always have to go for the jugular. You know sometimes it's easier to play back. And again, look at that. They knocked out after just kind of struggling for the first 3 minutes, honestly. So very wise stuff. That is a well-deserved pop-off from the side of BoyAhoy, I got to tell you.
Yes, especially at the end there. They're trying to make a few desperate plays on the side of Business Casualties, but BoyAhoy keeping their cool there, and they're actually using that double bubble comp to their advantage, the kind of defensive play style they're opting to go for there, making sure they're making the mistakes and we just sit back and let them make the mistakes. Again, we saw Skit doing a lot of work with that blaster, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they run the same weapon again now that we're heading into tower control at Museum D and Alfonsino. D''Alfonsino.
That's me, baby. Museum D Alfonsino.
Oh, it's a French term. I don't care.
Oh my! I don't know if you do this. I look at the languages for other, like the maps and my weapons for other languages, and sometimes the Nintendo people just be like, "We're making this in English." I don't know why. There's none of the language do it, but English, it'll be this. Museum D Alfonsino is kind of like that. The other ones are a little bit, kind of weird or hyphenated or whatever. But yeah, man, TC on Museum. This is definitely really good blaster map. Actually, funny enough, I feel like this might even favor the double bubble comp a little bit more than the double inkjet comp we've been seeing. I feel like TC, when the game came out, people talked about that, man. Like, bubble was so good on TC. I feel like, you really feel like,
sure.
Especially you put it down at the checkpoint, or God forbid you put 2 bubbles down at the checkpoint. I feel like there's not a whole lot you can do it, especially versus kind of a slower shooting comp like BoyAhoy. The other team is running. So we're going to get into it. Again, going to see the double bubble comp. Again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, coming out from BoyAhoy. And again, very similar comp, double inkjet. So we're really seeing the double inkjet versus double bubble. Also, looking at the subs give a lot. The abilities give a lot for the playstyle. You're going to see, again, those people like Omni and Surskit kind of feed, but they're going in. And getting a lot of those picks and dying a lot more. And you see those other 2 people are being much more supportive. I see this a lot in Splatoon now, where it'll be 2 shooters and 2, more pick-heavy weapons. And that's all they do, man. The shooters just pay for the weapons, and then they're able to do pretty well. That's kind of like one of the most meta comps of the game. Huge pick from Genie on the Inkjet.
Wow.
One of the most meta comps of the game is double splash, double machine. So you're seeing a little bit of that as, again, Genie and the rest of Business Casualties is going to take this first fight here. Not by much, though.
Yeah, and I noticed they picked the original junior route, actually. They're going with the bubbler. You might expect them to say, hey, we're fighting fire with fire now. But what they're trying to do is anticipate just a little bit more aggression from BoyAhoy. So what they're actually going to do is try to play with the same play style they have in mind and making sure they keep BoyAhoy at bay, making sure they can actually give a bit more opportunities for their players to make a few picks, make a few opportunities in the offensive side. Actually, Business Casualties has 3 specials ready now. They might be ready to pop those off. The Jet's starting to come out. The Tri-Strike's starting to come out. That Bubbler might be coming out sometime soon. Probably not soon enough, and not soon at all, because they get picked off, and that's a triple for BoyAhoy to make themselves back in, make themselves feel at home as Surskit takes a few more shots at Business Casualties.
Yeah, that was kind of all over the place. It was like Business Casualties were in the head, BoyAhoy were in the head. But I feel like you're seeing how annoying double bubble is. I mean, look, where are they going to go? They have 2 bubbles to shred right now. And it's just crazy. And I feel like it's just, they're keeping the chaos on their plat really, really high right now. And again, one of the hardest things about Museum is that it's so dangerous to go for a flank. And right now, I feel like, man, Business Casualty needs to go and fight for their lives. They need to get this plat cleared. They need to come in 4 down, and that's exactly what they're doing. Another pick from Genie. Now they're just trying to push the last 2 members of Radish and Omni here in mid. And let's pray that they can get some mid control, man. Business Casualties definitely on the back foot, looking to maybe lose the set here.
Right, and Business Casualties, what they've been doing so far is just keeping it, or at least trying to keep themselves a bit more distance. They're actually being a little hesitant with some of their pushes. When I say that, Brush trying to make a play of their own has to back out almost immediately there, as Brush needs to actually be in trouble there by Skit. Surskit able to get the pick, might even get the pick on Genie there, as they do. Look at that. Surskit now blasting their way into the enemy side. No pun intended there, but BoyAhoy looking very comfortable here as they continue to make their push towards the 3rd checkpoint.
Bro, dude,
Oh
Skit has been
God.
blasting this other team. Oh my goodness, bro. Saying that I am one of the best blasters in the business here. That's going to be a fat direct. Going to continue the stagger with 2 minutes remaining for Business Casualties to try to put this on there. And again, man, that bubble not only does it provide a shield, but it also is a jumping point, a very safe one at that. So I feel like, again, with those people with QR, those people with comeback, they are enabling 2 of the other 4 people on the team to just jump back in there, get back to killing, and continue the stagger. I see so many matches on Museum go like this. As you see Surskit wisely poking at Brush, might go down to the bomb here. But again, just like that, even if you get rid of me, I'll already be back. And they don't really need to push right now, even though they would win 2 down. I hope that they can just maintain lead here, or maintain mid control. And that's going to be a white coming from Business Casualties,
right.
finally showing some signs of life.
All right, Business Casualties looking at a sea of yellow here. They just need to get the paint, and that's actually the good opportunity for them now to get to collect a few specials now, and actually popping one out now. The Inkjet coming out. They're able to collect a few more points for their specials. The triple link strike. There we go. Love to remember that. Anyway, the triple link strike coming out. Now they have a few more specials coming out. The Jet coming out from the ballpoint as they try to get a few more points on the board with a minute to go. They might not be able to clear the checkpoint here. The bomb looking behind them. Oh my goodness. You need to watch out for those bombs. You need to watch out for BoyAhoy. My goodness, like wipe there. This might be it for Business Casualties as BoyAhoy looks to move on to the next round. This might be the match that gets them there as they're up to 24 remaining. Surskit there, like Team Rocket, just blasting off again.
I mean, that is what every junior player strives for. Is that I think that was a bomb quad or bomb double into a quad. Great stuff from Radish on there. And again, man, as soon as they were able to, Surskit's back poking at their spinner. And again, there's 2 people in mid, not where you want to be when the tower is pushing to maybe get some points towards this final checkpoint as we head in the last 15 seconds. What could be, again, this team's winner's side life on the line here from Business Casualties. If we head now, they're going to have to maintain on there. I just don't know if it's going to be possible. There's so much chip happening on the tower. They need to be on the tower in the next 2 seconds, or it's not even going to start. Okay, we got an overtime. But, man, you can see it. Everyone's hyped right now, man. People on stage are yelling. They were animated. They want to move on. Both teams do not want to go down right now like this in overtime.
The closest matchup we can see so far. Business Casualties trying to stay alive, looking for a game 5. DRF is down. Surskit makes a double. Might be able to get the ball point as well. He sneaks onto the tower with the Ink Strike to back it up. Surskit there, have a day. My goodness.
Dude, that is, again, a big dub for the Blaster Nation and Surskit, the leader himself, man. That was just classic, bro. Classic what you want to see. Hey, Business Casualties, not going to count them out. They had a very strong showing. Again, much, much stronger than the 3-1 would suppose on the scoreboard. So, yeah, if I'm Business Casualties, I'm going to watch it back. No, I couldn't make some of those small adjustments. I'm going to be right back in it. They're not out necessarily. I think they need to do either that's probably going to be one more to get redemption, or that's going to be the redemption right there. I really don't know based on the bracket. But, hey, good stuff to both teams. But, man, dude, DRF and sorry, not DRF, Surskit and the rest of their crew, man, that is classic, just good. You know, I'm going to jump in, going to be aggressive play. So, great stuff to them. Great stuff, man, seriously.
Absolutely. I mean, both teams showing the best that Splatoon has to offer. Speaking of the best Splatoon has to offer, we're going to have that next match set up for y'all real quick. But while I say that, one thing I like about Junior, because I like Junior so much, I think it's really fun to play because it's mindless or spam. No, I'm kidding. But one thing I saw from Radish earlier when Radish was playing is that they were actually able to time those bomb throws. He was able to just they're watching and making sure they know where those players are going. So you want to kind of predict where they're going because that's the best thing you can do with a bomb, not only to support your teammates, but to also give yourself and your team a bit of an opening.
Yeah, man, I feel like Junior's a dying art style. You know, I know Lily, who's here right now, not playing a whole lot of Junior. I know, Riss is not playing a whole lot of Junior right now. But there are people like Radish that are holding it down. And I feel like, man, it's a worthy play style still. You know, I feel like a lot of people really were on point with that, man. They were on point with the bomb kills. They were on point with the bomb pressure. You know, they had the mini bomb rush with the armor pop. But, I still feel like, man, Double Bomb Junior is such a force. And you saw it on tower. Whenever there's a point where you have to have, you need to be in a certain spot like tower control Rainmaker, man. If you know where to put those bombs, when to throw them out there, they are still a force to be reckoned with. Radish showing clean what that is. And that was seriously a defining moment from that match and that set. Was getting that bomb double into the quad. They just could not do it. And I feel like I've seen so many TC games like that, man, where you do really well, but you just cannot get past 1 or 2 checkpoints. And that's exactly what happened. So,
tough is this game. This game is tough. Sometimes. Now, if you're in solo queue, it's even tougher.
Bro, for real.
If you're in turf war, maybe.
Speaking of tough, I just spilled my water, so I don't know if anyone on production can hear me, but I need that. There's water, right. Of course, there's no one with the headset on right now, but eventually, someone, please, I need water. I need a paper towel, bro. For real.
You need a paper towel?
Dude, don't even tell me you have a paper towel in there.
I have a paper.
That is a plastic cup. Hey, Seekin, I spilled my water, bro. Please.
Water, please.
No, I spilled it. There's water on the ground.
There is water on the ground.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Seekin's like, oh, I can't believe you, OBT, bro. Spilling your water, embarrassing yourself at LTC 2023.
Hey, no. Here's the thing. The water is low. The amount of water below right now is low. The name of it is Low Tide City. We're living up to the name.